My name is Ralph Eisenberg, and I'm here with my good friend Daniel Yanez at the Latino Cultural Center. Daniel is the owner of the Basement Gallery in Oak Cliff, and this is his first curated show at the Latino Cultural Center. And, you know, I was just thinking, Daniel, there was problems with the city with artists getting their galleries opened and settled and whatnot. Did this in any way contribute and help you be able to make the decision to get out and come down here for this 2-month show?
Actually, they invited me to come out here and put on this or curate this show. I guess it was kind of in response of the gallery being shut down, and the Latino Cultural Center wanted to come in and give me a hand any way they could. And the best way they figured they could help was to help us put on our show here. And it's kind of just a representation of what the Basement Gallery is and what we represent as far as artists. So we were like, yes, let's do it. And I feel like it's going to be a really great show here to kind of express what we do, you know, at the basement.
Well, the show actually has 15 different artists, and the title of the show is There Goes the Neighborhood. And based on the art that you'll be seeing, it's certainly very unique. The show certainly shows all types of imagery and representations of, not necessarily, in my impression, where there goes the neighborhood, but there's actually hope for the neighborhood because it offers solutions. We were very honored to work together on the piece behind us called All Too Often. And let me just do the technical side of it and then turn it over to Daniel to tell you about it. I took a regular target, got 21 feet away, used a Sig Sauer P26 Legion, and emptied, I actually emptied 99 bullets into it with this accuracy. I really meant to empty 49, the 49 representing the number of people that were actually killed in Orlando. Let me just say that this is not something that I recommend somebody that is not a shooter, that does not have a license attempt to do. I have a concealed handgun permit, and this was done at a shooting range. I actually created a space between two targets so that I would have entrance wounds and exit wounds, and it really turned out rather graphic. And from there, I'll let Daniel take over. It really was, what he did after that was pretty exciting.
Pretty much what I did was took the target that he shot, which was a paper target overlaid 2 pieces of thin foam. So what I then did was I cut out the silhouette of the target of the foam, and then I thickened it with more foam. We went on the edges with the spackle to make it look like it was a whole piece made out of stone. From there, we made the imprints and drew on the target circles and the numbers, and we then gave it a skin light texture and color. And then we also went in with the blood to where the bullets hit his target. It looks really nice. We went with the wood base and just to kind of bring it all together and make it more of like a sculptural type piece rather than just a target.
This is actually going to be the first of 4 variations. And next door, you will shoot a second variation. And that variation was Daniel's concept, where he wanted to show at the base kind of like a lake or a pond. And it's when I saw it, I got all excited because I wasn't certain, was that a representation of the melting of man by gun violence, or was it actually a pool of blood that was going to be realistically shown? And of course, you have the same wounds, the exact same wounds. The third element or variation will be one that will be done where we really make the base and the second one very much more graphic. And then finally, we will do a much taller sculpture where we will use rebar and represent a bullet, and the silhouette, the target, will be actually hanging between the bullet. And here's the point of what this is trying to do. Photojournalists, the media, does not get to show the American public what happens when a person is shot. And Daniel and I both believe that if there were more graphic photographs in the media showing the cause and effect of a gunshot, that you would see perhaps a decrease in the amount of guns being used. I would say, if you agree with me, especially in family violence. I mean, when you see how brutal these things are, you pull that trigger, that's it. And the way it's reported in the newspapers with a white sheet or a black bag over, you don't get that opinion. Daniel, why don't you tell the folks out there a little bit more about your show and what you're doing? We've got our piece covered, but talk a little bit more about what you're doing.
Well, we're here at the Latino Culture Center. The Culture Center approached me about maybe about 5 months ago, and they heard about through newspapers and magazines about what was happening at the Basement Art Gallery, about our shutdown with the city. From there, they just wanted to see how they could help and support us and pretty much keep the basement alive, because what we do down there is very much community oriented and art community oriented. And so, like, our focus is bringing attention to artists from not only, I guess the best word would be from the hood. I mean, from places that I'm from places that are not very financially well off. So that's what I try to provide there at the basement, is a space that we can call our own and express ourselves without getting into trouble and without doing what most people think that we do out there. So but yeah, so we put together this art show with artists that have exhibited artwork at the Basement Gallery. We chose 15 artists, some of the best artists that have shown down there, and they really came with their A game today. They really expressed through their art what we represent down there as the basement, as young artists that have talent, that have skills, that have education, that we're able to put these pieces together in such a way that makes sense to people and translate our ideas very well. So we'll just continue to do that, and we're really appreciative to the Latino Cultural Center for allowing us to do this today, and hopefully we get to do this again, and definitely come down the basement in Oak Cliff and kind of see what we're about. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank Daniel for working with me, because this is my first collaborative work of art, so I'm brand new at it, and without you, I would have never have gotten the opportunity to see something in my life created. One advertisement, if you will. Every piece of art that you see here is for sale. And a lot of these artists are, in fact, starving artists. So we certainly encourage folks to take a look at the art and take a look at the price list. And if they see something they like, see Daniel or one of the other staff and take really home some great artwork. This is Ralph Eisenberg on behalf of In the Basement at the Latin Cultural Center with the grand premiere of There Goes the Neighborhood. Thank you.